It was the 3rd of June, another sleepy, dusty Delta day. I was out chopping cotton and my brother was baling hay. At dinner time we stopped and we walked back to the house to eat. And Mama hollered out the back door, y'all remember to wash your feet. Then she said, I got some news this morning from Choctaw Rio. Today, Billy Joe McAllister jumped off a Tallahatchie Bridge. Papa said to Mama as he passed around the black-eyed pea. Well, Billy Joe never had a lick of sense. Would you pass the biscuits, please? Well, there's 5 more acres in the lower 40 that I got to plow on. And Mama said it was a shame made by Billy Joe anyhow. Seems like nothing ever good ever comes up on Choctaw Rio. And now Billy Joe McAllister's jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Brother said he recollected when he and Tom and Billy Joe, they put a frog down my back at the Carroll County Picture Show. And wasn't I talking to him after church last Sunday night? Yeah, have another piece of apple pie, you know, it don't seem right. I saw him at the sawmill yesterday on Choctaw Rio. And now you tell me Billy Joe has jumped off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Well, Mama said to me, child, what's happened to your appetite? Well, I've been cooking all morning and you haven't touched a single bite. That nice young preacher brother, the Taylor, dropped by today. He said he'd be pleased to have dinner on Sunday. Oh, by the way, he said he saw a girl that looked like a lot like you up on Choctaw Rio. And she and Billy Joe was throwing something off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Well, a year is come and gone now since we heard that news about Billy Joe. Brother married Becky Thompson. They moved down and they bought a store in Tupelo. There was a virus going around. Papa caught it and he died last spring. And now Mama doesn't seem to wanna do much of anything. I spent a lot of time picking flowers up on Choctaw Rio. Yeah, I throw them in the muddy water off of Tallahatchie Bridge. Yes, I threw them in the muddy water off the Tallahatchie Bridge. Well, hello, my fellow travelers, and welcome to the First Agnostic Church of Hope and Wonder, where we are always hoping for something and wondering what the fuck. Now, before I begin my sermon this morning, I would like to take a couple weeks off and retire altogether, but in light of these current events, I persist. Before I begin my sermon, let me make a few announcements. Next Sunday, we're going to have Chicken on the Ground, and that's going to be the beginning of our 12-part series where I will replay all of my albums in their order and sequence. We'll have fun events leading up, maybe a three-legged race, some kind of stuff. Maybe we're going to let a person come to one, or we're going to have all kinds of fun, good time and events. I'm looking forward to it. We've been recording, and now this week I'll start getting ready to play that Daily Planet and really have it down good for you. And today, since I won't be getting to do any more covers for the next 3 months, today I'm just going to do all of them. So you can go ahead and tune out if that was the problem or if that's an issue, because that's just how it's going to be. And then also next week, it's just going to be the Daily Planet. So you've been warned. What I'm doing today, when I was a young kid, I moved to San Marcos, Texas, and my first open mic was at Cheatham Street. And the owner of the place was Kent Finley and his wife Diana, and they had 3 kids. And if you were a songwriter of any wayward status, they had a sofa or someplace you could crash. And Kent was like a songwriting teacher to a ton of people, myself included, you know. And a lot of the teaching was just playing songs, and a lot of, like, that song is one that Kent Finley thought was perfect, and I agree, you know. I get a lot of my taste from him. So today I'm just going to do songs I just love and really, really wish I could have written, you know, and songs I've studied my whole life, like that one. Like in that one, I'm so glad we don't know what they threw off that bridge. Now check this out. This is Shel Silverstein wrote this song. To me, it's a masterpiece. A hook-up man with a beer in his hand. It looked like a drunk old fool. But I knew if I hit him right, well, I could knock him off of that stool. Everybody said, hey, watch out, man. That's Tiger Man McCoo. He's had a whole lot of fights, and he's always come out the winner. Yeah, he's a winner. But I had myself about 5 too many, so I walked up tall and proud. I faced his back, and then I faced the fact that he had never stooped or bowed. I said, Tiger Man, you're a pussy. And a hush fell on the crowd. I said, hey, you and me, we'll go outside and see who's a winner. Well, he gripped the bar with one big hairy hand, and then he braced against the wall. He slowly looked up from his beer, and my God, that man was tall. He said, boy, I can see you're a scrapper. So just before you fall, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about what it means to be a winner. He said, now you see these bright white smiling teeth, well, you know they ain't my own. Mine rolled away like chiclets down some street in San Antone. But I had left that person cursing, nursing 7 broken bones. And he'd only broke, 3 of mine, so that make me the winner. He said, you got behind this grin, I got a steel pin that holds my jaw in place. A trophy of my most successful motorcycle race. And each morning when I wake up and I touch this scar on my face, it reminds me of all I got by being a winner. Now this broken back, it was the dying act of some handsome Harry Clay. That sticky Cincinnati night that I stole his wife away. Well, that woman, she gets uglier and she gets meaner every day. But I got her. That make me the winner. He said, now, you gotta speak a little louder when you talk to me, son, 'cause it's hard for me to hear. With this twisted neck and these migraine pains and this big old cauliflower ear. And if it wasn't for this old glass eye of mine, well, hell, I'd shed a happy tear to think of all that you're gonna get by being the winner. I got arthritic elbows, I got dislocated knees from picking fights with thunderstorms and charging into trees. Hell, my nose have been broke so often I might lose it if I sneeze. Son, you say you still want to be the winner? I tell you, you remind me a lot of my younger days with your knuckles all clenched up and white. But son, I'm just gonna sit here and sip this beer all night. And if there's something that you've got to gain or prove by winning some silly fight, well, all right, I quit. You win. You're the winner. So I stumble from that barroom, not so tall and not so proud. And behind me I still hear the hoots and the laughter from that crowd. But my eyes still see and my nose still works and my teeth are still in my mouth. And you know, I guess that makes me the winner. Shel Silverstein, man, that guy started off his career writing Little Orphan Fanny for Playboy magazine, the cartoons. Then he started hanging around here, and he wrote A Boy Named Sue for Johnny Cash, and then he wrote cover of the Rolling Stone for, he wrote Gotta Get My Picture on the Cover of the Rolling Stone. And him and Bobby Bear got together and recorded like 100 and some songs. Together they were a real combo. All right, now this one was written by, check this out, a young man was going to school here, and he was working as a security guard, and his father passed away, and so he went to the funeral, but afterwards he had to go work as a security guard. So he went to his dad's funeral, and that night on his shift, he got an idea for his first song ever, and it went like this. On a warm summer's evening, on a train bound for nowhere, I met up with a gambler. We were both too tired to sleep, so we took turns staring out the window at the darkness until boredom overtook us. He began to speak. He said, son, I've made a life out of reading people's faces, knowing what their cards were by the way they held their eyes. And if you don't mind me saying, I can see you're out of aces for a taste of your whiskey. I'll give you some advice. So I handed him my bottle. He drank down my last swallow. Then he bummed a cigarette, and then he bummed a light. The night got deathly quiet. His face lost all expression. He said, if you gonna play the game, son, you got to learn to play it right. You got to know when to hold on walk away and know when to run. You never count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. Every gambler knows that the secret to surviving, it's knowing what to throw away and knowing what to keep. 'Cause every hand is a winner, just like every hand is a loser. And the best that you can hope for is to die in your sleep. You got to know when to hold on, know when to fold on, know when to walk away and know when to run. You never count your money. Sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. When he finished speaking, he turned back toward the window, crushed out his cigarette, and he faded off to sleep. Somewhere in the darkness, the gambler, he broke even. But in his final words, I found an ace that I could keep. Yeah, you got to know when to hold on, know when to fold on, know when to walk away from it, and know when to run. You never count your money. But when you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing's done. You got to know when to hold on, know when to fold on, know when to walk away and know when to run. You count your money. When you're sitting at the table, there'll be time enough for counting when the dealing is done. Don Schlitz wrote that. Bobby Bear was the first person to sing it. I just adore that song. You know, and usually I don't like getting bossed around by songs. To me, that's the main song where the singer's kind of giving you some instructions, and how can you argue with it? You do. You need to know when to hold them, fold them, you know. A lot of songs tell you, you gotta live like you're dying. No, I don't. I don't gotta do any of that mess. Most of the time, when I listen to the radio, it's like you just listen and you're just like, no, I don't. I don't have to do any of those things you tell me. Especially country music. You got to, you know. But really, I think Kenny nailed it. This song was written by one of my favorite people, Robert Earl Keen. Just about 10 years older than me, so he's really kind to me my whole music singing life. You know, took me on a lot of shows, taught me a lot of stuff. And he's got a few masterpieces, but I always thought this was one. She was a waitress at the only joint in town. She had a reputation as a girl who'd been around down Main Street after midnight. Brand new pack of cigs, a fresh one hanging from her lip, beer between her legs. She'd ride down to the river and meet with all her friends. The road goes on forever, the party never ends. Sonny was a loner, he was older than the rest. He was going into the Navy, but he couldn't pass the test, so he hung around town, sold a little pot. The law caught wind of Sonny. One day he got caught, but he was back in business when they set him free again. The road goes on forever, party never ends. Sonny's playing 8-ball at the joint where Sherry works. Some drunken out-of-towner put his hand up Sherry's skirt. Sonny took a pool cue, laid the drunk out on the floor, threw $1 in the tip jar, walked on out the door. She was running right beside him, reaching for his hand. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. Well, they jumped into his pickup. Sonny jammed it down in gear. Sonny looked at Sherry, said, let's get on out of here. Stars was high above them, the moon was in the east. The sun was setting on them when they reached Miami Beach. They got a hotel by the water, they poured a Bombay gin. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. Well, they soon ran out of money, but Sonny knew a man who knew some Cuban refugees who dealt in contraband. Sonny met the Cubans in a house just off the Rue with a briefcase full of money and a pistol in his boot. The card was on the table when the law come busting in. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. The Cubans grabbed the goodies, Sonny grabbed the jack. He broke a bathroom window and he climbed on out the back. Sherry drove the pickup through the alley on the side where a lawman tackled Sonny and was reading him his rights. She stepped into the alley with a single shot 410. The road goes on forever and the party never ends. Well, they left that lawman lying and they made their getaway. They got back to the hotel just before the break of day. Sonny gave her all the money. He blew her a little kiss. He says, if they asked you how this happened, say I forced you into this. She watched him as his taillights disappeared around the bend. Oh, the road goes on forever and the party never ends. 21 months later at the local grocery store, Sherry buys a paper and a cold 6-pack of beer. Headline reads that Sonny going to the chair. She pulls back on the main street in a new Mercedes-Benz. The road goes on forever, the party never ends. Man, yeah, that's how you gonna talk that? That's some shit there. Robert Earl Keen, man. He's got a ton of them. So I'm just doing songs that I've always loved. This one, you got this one? Because I've got these words in front of me. When I was a young guy, I lived in Texas and I followed all those singers around, and one of the singers I liked to follow around was Joe Ely. And he had the rockin'est band in town. It had Bobby Keys in it. I'm forgetting the other guy. Great band. Joe's always got these great songs. And this song, he would come out and play all by himself, and it always just knocked me out. I'm doing songs, I guess, today that are sort of story songs. But this is one Joe Ely wrote a long time ago. Me and Billy the Kid, we never got along. I didn't like the way that he cocked his head and he wore his gun all wrong. But we shared the same girlfriend and he never forgot it. She had a cute little chihuahua until one day up and shot it. He rode the hard country down the New Mexico line. He had a silver pocket watch that never did quite whine. Crippled a piano man for playing my favorite song. But me and Billy the Kid, man, never got along. Billy the Kid never got along. I didn't like the way he cocked his head and he parted his hair all wrong. But he bad to the bone, all hopped up on that speed. I would have left him alone, but except I love that senorita. He gave her the silver and he paid her hotel bill, but it was me that she loved. She said she always will. I used to go and see her when Billy was gone. Me and Billy the Kid, no, we never got along. Me and Billy the Kid, no, we never got along. I I didn't like the way that he tied his shoes and he wore his gun all wrong. So one day I said, hey, Billy, I got this foolproof scheme. We can rob a Wells Fargo, man. It's busted at the seams. Well, I admit that I framed him, but I don't feel bad, cause the way that I was living then was driving me mad. Billy reached for his gun, but his gun was on all wrong. Me and Billy the Kid, Lord, we never got along. Me and Billy the Kid, Lord, we never got along. But I did like the way that he swayed in the wind when I played my favorite song. And now his baby, she sings harmony with me to La Cucarachas. Wines a silver pocket watch and pets a new chihuahua. Outside I hear the wind blowing oh so song. Me and Billy the Kid, oh, we never got along. Never got along. Never got along. Never got along. Yeah, man. Joe Ely. Man, one time I took my mom to Green Hall when I was just like 20 to see Joe Ely, and he had a trailer parked out. He had a truck parked out by the side, and like me and my brother would always stand by those things. I don't know why, but we were all standing by the thing waiting for him to come out. And he came out of the bus and he grabbed my mom and he kissed her. That was his, I wondered if that was part of his thing. Check this out. So Charlie Daniels, we lost him, and he, you know, he had changed his position on weed and stuff like that as his life went on. But I don't care if somebody doesn't like my songs because of one. Like if I say something that you don't like, it's fine with me if you just don't like all the rest of it, you know? And I think he'd probably be fine with it too. But I don't dislike Charlie Daniels' songs, even except for there's the one where he says that we should hang dope dealers or something. That doesn't seem right. Where would we get dope? Right? Think, you gotta think, Charlie. Oh, wait. Rest his soul, man. All right, so check this out, though. He wrote this. Called up Tootie on the telephone, sent her a letter in the mail. I tell her I'm hung up here in Dallas, and they won't let me out of this jail. And if she asks you how I'm faring it, you tell her I'm just about to lose my mind. I worried about old John T. Walker and the girl I left behind. Now, John T. Walker was a card mechanic, had a hand for trouble and an eye for cash. The luckiest man in Dallas County, had a gold watch chain and a black mustache, and he loved his whiskey and he loved his women. Drove a big long Cadillac limousine, kept a big, fine, fancy townhouse in Dallas. Kept a hotel suite in New Orleans. Had a switchblade knife in his left hip pocket. Had a 44 hog leg up under his coat. Cut you down in New York minute. If it catch you cheating, that was all she wrote. I call up Trudy on the telephone. I sent her a letter in the mail. I tell her I'm hung up here in Dallas, and they won't let me out of this jail. And if she asks you how I'm faring, yeah, tell her I'm just about to lose my mind. I'm worried about old John T. Walker and the girl I left behind. I just got to town last Friday evening. I sure as hell didn't mean to stay. I was on my way back to Louisiana. Had a powerful thirst and 6 months pay. I'm at a broadside blonde at a bar on deep end. I was flying high and feeling mean. Poured down a bottle and a half of red eye. Dropped $35 in a slot machine, and the boys in the back was dealing 7 cards. I sat down and won me 110. I was raking in chips like Grant took Richmond. Big John Lee comes strolling in. He rip off the bar like a 707. Pretty soon he done won all of my bread. I accused him of cheating, he reached for his pistol. I grabbed the chair, went upside of his head, then I took off running like a motorcycle. Heard the bullets whining and the siren wail. It took half the cops in Dallas County just to put one coon-ass boy in jail. Call up Trudy on the telephone, send her a letter in the mail. Tell her I'm hung up here in Dallas. They won't let me out of this jail. And if she asks you how I'm faring it, tell her I'm just about to lose my mind. I'm worried about old John Lee Walker and the girl I left behind. Yeah. You know what, man? I'll do a couple of mine. What the fuck? I ought to do some stuff I know for you folks. But really, this show hardly counts. This is like a practice game for the big one. A little out of place, a little out of tune, so lost in space, racing that moon, climbing the wall of a hurricane, still over all, I can't complain. All I wanted was one chance, I let freedom ring. Said I had to get a permit, a bunch of tags and everything. I never made it through the red tape. I got this paper hat, I got a job working weekdays. You want fries with that? I've got nothing to lose, babe, nothing to gain. Like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Well, I was talking with my girlfriend, told her I was stressed. Said I'm going off the deep end. She said, God, for once, give it a rest. We're all waiting in the dugout, thinking we should pitch. How you gonna throw a shutout if all you do is bitch? I've got nothing to lose and nothing to gain. Like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Now I've got a brand new dance, I need one more shot. I just need one last chance. You know I won't get caught. Gonna make my last stand, and this time I can't be bought. But then again, on the other hand, how much have you got? I got nothing to lose, ain't nothing to gain. Like a one-way ticket to cruise in the passing lane. I can't complain. Little out of place, little out of tune, so lost in space, racing the moon, climbing the wall of a hurricane, still over all, I can't complain. Overall, I can't complain. Yeah, that was fun. do some of my own. You know. Watching TV just made me mad. Too many people treating people too bad. There ain't no hope. My old lady, she sure gonna be mad. I just spent the last $60 that we had on bad dope. East Nashville skyline, crossing over to a state of mind, leaving all my troubles way behind. That old Cumberland River, East Nashville skyline, discount cigarettes, liquor and wine. Anywhere, anytime we deliver. I'm still mad about the slow bar. Well, I guess that's just the way things are. If something good comes along, then it's gone. It's kinda like the Phoenix radio. We used to listen, then where did it go? It went off of the air so that more Sheryl Crow could come on. Skyline, crossing over to a state of mind, leaving all my troubles way behind. That old Cumberland River, East Nashville skyline, discount cigarettes, liquor and wine. Anywhere, anytime we deliver. Crossing the river, we play more songs. They're probably right to say that we're all wrong for these days. So much for money, so much for big. Who needs the headache when there's always a gig at the cafe? The Radio Cafe, East Nashville skyline, crossing over to state of mind, leaving all my troubles way behind. That old Cumberland River, East Nashville skyline, discount cigarettes, liquor and wine. Anywhere, anytime we deliver, baby. Yeah. It's always been one of my favorites, but it didn't make a record till the Outtakes record, because I didn't finish it in time. You can't talk to me like that, boss. I don't care who you are. If you don't wanna have to hang your own drywall, don't push me too far. Boomtown work ain't all that hard to come by. Boomtown workers are. You might be the one that's running the show, but that doesn't mean you're in charge. I was looking for a job when I found this one. Don't need to work like you need the work done. You looking like you're under pressure. I was looking for a job when I met you. Sharing a room with two guys over at the Motel 6, boss. Said every time I make it home to my ex-wife. I just did 2 years and 28 days With a little bit of aim, I've been in there for my life. So you see, broken gonna take me that much and getting used to. Neither will no barbed wire jailhouse wall. Watch what you say to someone with nothing. It's almost like having it all. Yep. Looking for a job when I found this one. I don't need this work like you need this work done. You looking like you're under pressure. I was looking for a job when I met you. What I really ought to get is a job like your job, Chief. Where I just drive around all day and check up on fucking guys like me, yelling from the window in my pickup truck with my AC cranked up and my clothes all nice and clean. That sound like that might be alright. That sound like that might be alright. On the other hand, I was looking for a job when I found this one. I don't need this working like you need this work done. You looking like you're under pressure. I was looking for a job when I met you. Don't you remember, boss? Oh, get it. Championship. Yeah, I'm killing today, don't you think? What? OJ? What happened? Oh my God, did you guys hear about OJ? Huh. God dang. Don't tune away, I'll just tell you, he killed his wife. Right? Yeah. And her boyfriend. Wow. So, you know who would have thought? Who sings better than me? Nobody. Let's see. I promised the guy that I would do this. No, I'm gonna keep doing mine. You know, the last couple of weeks I haven't made a plan. I hope that's okay. We've just been working hard out here. You know what? Let's see. Uh-oh, I'm stuck. I was driving home early Sunday morning through Bakersfield, listening to gospel music on the colored radio station, and you know, the preacher said, "You've always got the Lord by your side." I was so pleased to be informed of this that I ran 20 red lights in his honor. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord. I had an arrangement to meet a girl. I was kind of late. I figured by the time I got there, she'd be off with the nearest truck driver she could find. Much to my surprise, there she was, sitting in the corner, a little bleary, worse for the wear and tear. A girl with faraway eyes. So if you're down on your luck and can't harmonize, get a girl with faraway eyes. And if you're downright disgusted and life ain't worth a damn, get a girl with faraway eyes. Well, the preacher kept right on saying that all I had to do was send $10 cash check or money order to the Sacred Bleeding Heart for Jesus Church located someplace in Los Angeles, California, and next week they'd say my prayer on the radio and all my dreams would come true. So I did. And next week, I got a prayer for a girl. Well, you know what kind of eyes she got. So if you're down on your luck, I know y'all sympathize to find a girl with faraway eyes. If you're downright disgusted and your life ain't worth a damn, get a girl with faraway eyes. If you're downright disgusted and your life ain't worth a damn, get a girl with faraway eyes. Yeah. I like that song. Rolling Stones made that one up. Here's one I made with the late Kent Finley. I was traveling on a plane, and I had read a science article in the Free magazine in the seat cushion about the human brain. And they said 3% of people use 5 to 6% of their brain. 97% use just 3%, and the rest goes down the drain. I'll never know which one I am, but I bet you my last dime. 99% think we're 3% 100% of the time. They say 60% of all the world's statistics are made up right there on the spot. 82.4% of people believe them, whether they're even accurate statistics or not. Now, I don't know what you believe, but I do know there's no doubt. I'll need another double shot of some 90 proof. I've got too much to think about. Too much to think about. Too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt. Oh, too much to think about. They say that 60% of everything you learned in college was just a bunch of bullshit you ain't gonna need. 82.7% of everything you bought that just to satisfy your greed. Cause you know 90% of this world's population gonna link your possessions to your success, even though 99% of the wealthiest 1% of this population drinks to an alarming excess. More money, more stress, I guess it's too much to think about, too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, oh, too much to think about. Stand on it. Oh, look out. Look at all them chords you're getting into. I'm tired. They say that 70% of all statisticians, they truly hate their fucking jobs. The average bank robber lives within, say, 10 miles of the bank that it robs. There's a little bank, it's not so far from here, and I've been watching it now for a while. It seems like lately all I can think about is how bad I wanna go out in style. Hey, too much to think about, too much to figure out. Stuck between hope and doubt, oh, too much to think about. Well, that's right, too much to think about. Amen, there's too much to think about. Oh, baby. Yeah, Ken Finley made up that one. Let's see, what else can we play this fine day? Let's do that one that you had just about pulled up. That's fun. We got time for a few more, and then we're going to get back to work making the beats for the street. We got you know which one I'm talking about? Huh? Yeah. Well, hope you're doing good out there. You've been taking care of us in this time, and we're hoping to have some new music for you. Seems like we're getting some stuff done. I wrote this song. I'm going to try it out on you. Well, God said to Abraham, kill me a son. Abe said, man, you must be putting me on. God said, no. Abe said, what? God said, you can do what you want, Abe, but the next time you see me coming, you'd better run. Abe said, where you want this killing done? God's out on Highway 61. Well, Georgia Sam, he had a bloody nose. The welfare department wouldn't give him no clothes. He asked poor Howard, where can I go? Howard said, there's only one place I know. Sam said, tell me quick, man, I gotta run. Howard just pointed out west with his gun. He said, that way down on Highway 61. Well, Mac the Finger said to Louis the King, I got 40 red, white, and blue shoestrings and 1,000 telephones that will not ring. Do you know where I can get rid of these things? Louis the King said, let me think for a minute, son. Yes, I think it could be very easily done. We'll take everything down on Highway 61. Well, the fifth daughter on the 12th night told her first father that things weren't right. My complexion, she says, is much too white. Come over here, he said, step into the light. And then he said, you're right. Let me tell the second mother this has been done. But the seventh mother was with the seventh son, and they was both down on Highway 61. Now the roving gambler, he was very bored, trying to create the next world war. He found a promoter who nearly fell off the floor. He said, well, I've never engaged in this kind of thing before, but yes, I believe it could be very easily done. We could just throw some bleachers out in the sun, have it on Highway 61, all right. Highway 61. Hey. In the beginning, man wondered to himself, why am I even here? And yet with each asking of this question, the answer become less clear. Overwhelmed by fear, it seemed as if distraction took its place. And so it must have been in the world's first shelter that we begun the human race. The human race to fill up more and more empty space. And oh, how we must have loved the human race. Until one day this one guy says to this other guy, he says, hey man, have you seen that other guy over there? Seems like he's got more than anybody else has got. To me, that just doesn't seem fair. Well, the second guy agreed with the first guy. Everybody else did too. Well, they all got so worked up that they figured that they knew what they needed to do. They would divide all his shit up among each other. After they killed him, of course. For they could see no real good reason not to just take whatever they wanted to by force. But when they found him, he said, hey, wait a minute, fellas, now. I wouldn't kill me just now. You can see that I got more than any of you ever got. Wouldn't you first at least like to know how? And with that, he had their attention. With that, he went on loud and clear. He said, you all know how long we have always wondered. We wondered why, oh, why are we here? Well, today I'm going to tell you all about it. I'm going to teach you about suffering and bliss. I'm going to teach you all a little about heaven and hell and the God that gave me all of this. You see, God gave me all of this because I'm humble. He could do the same for you too. But if you're seeking his love and affection, or what you're doing, that's the last thing I do. You see, the good Lord sends killers to hellfire. That's both here and then again eternally. The good live forever in a beautiful heaven. God told me that personally. So unless you want suffering and heartache, Unless you want troubles and fear, you better find some kind of way to humble yourself. May I suggest helping me clean up a little bit around here? Of course, I could pay you a little bit of money for it, but more importantly, the good Lord would see. He would see that you'd been working humbly for something, and he would reward you the same way that he has rewarded me. Well, no one knew what to do with that information, nor could they prove that what he was saying wasn't true. And since he had what everybody else thought they wanted, it seemed like the thing to do. And with that, we've rolled into this future. And ain't it a son of a bitch to think that we would still need religion to keep the poor from killing the rich? Ooh-wee. And who you gonna trust if you can't trust me? Take your time, tell me slow, should I stay? When we both know you thought you knew what I was just about to say, and you did not know, but you always think you do. Let me tell you something, baby. I've been looking back over my shoulder. It's not you that I've got to blame. If I could do all this all over, I wouldn't do nothing the same. Seemed like the right thing at the time, Lord. It always does. Lord, it seemed like the right thing at the time, babe. Try to remember, Lord, it helped me to forget. The older I get, oh, hang on. The older I get, the more I worry. That the more I worry, the older I'm gonna get, and yet I still worry about that. Ain't that about a son of a bitch? I tell you. Some guys can't take no for an answer. Some guys can't take yes for an answer. I can't say for sure how I ended up here, but if I had to guess, I guess I would guess this for an answer. But it seemed like the right thing at the time. Well, it seemed like the right thing at the time. Oh, 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 trying to find some kind of way I'm gonna cope. I've always got to admit, I have to admit it. Ain't so much the despair that gets me as it is the hope. There's always hope, I tell you. When I found myself in possession of these car keys, I just naturally assumed that I could drive. Seemed like the right thing at the time. Seemed like the right thing at the time. Oh, 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 oh. Y'all, thank you for tuning in this Sunday and all the Sundays that you've been tuning in. Next week's gonna be a really special one. thank you for getting through this one with me. I meant to do a bunch of covers, but then that didn't feel right. So I'm going to leave you with this one last song that I think is a nice thing to take into the week. I've had a great time again. Hope you had a good time. Tonight. Relax your mind, relax your mind. It makes you feel so good sometimes. Sometimes you got to relax your mind. Well, if the light turns green, put your foot on the gasoline. But sometimes you got to relax your mind. Relax your mind, relax your mind. It makes you feel so good sometimes. Sometimes you've got to relax your mind. Hey, if the light turns red, put your foot on the brake instead. Sometimes you've got to relax your mind. Sing with me at home. Relax your mind, relax your mind. It makes you feel so good sometimes. Sometimes you've got to relax your mind. Well, if the light turns blue, well then I don't know what to tell you to do. But sometimes you got to relax your mind. You've got to. Tonight. Thank y'all. I hope you have a great week. my soul. There's something calling me way over yonder. That's just the gypsy in my soul. There's something calling me way over yonder. That's just the gypsy in my soul. No cares, no strings in my heart. Just sing. No string, no string. My heart has a wing. There's something calling me way over yonder. Oh, that's just the gypsy in my soul. Don't forget to tip your neighbors.